Oh.
have not a question, and my English is not very well. I just try to talk to you without preparing. Now you're saying about this aliveness which experienced this body, and you say this aliveness is experiencer, not the body.
Yeah.
Actually, I see it clearly quite long time, but still fluctuations always happening. It feels like progress is happening, but is it what must happen? It is sometimes this fluctuation will end, or what?
So what was the question exactly? That the fluctuation will end?
Yeah.
What has to happen for the fluctuation to end?
Should they end, or is it an end for this search? What is what is the last point, you may say? If there is.
There's lots you don't understand. You need to understand what it is to be a human and what it is to be suffering. So you need to understand what the human animal is, what it wants, what it needs, what it's looking for. And then you need to see that that one that's asking me this question now isn't actually interested in enlightenment, but it's interested in staying a person and taking more things for itself.
Why? Who is interested in enlightenment?
Sorry?
Who is interested in enlightenment?
No one is.
No one?
But this is have you been listening to my talks for very long? Been listening to my talks for a long time?
Your talks no, just few times.
Okay.
Few
Yeah.
times.
So so you still see enlightenment as a personal thing, as something that you get. But that one that wants enlightenment, who is it that knows that? So that person that's looking for enlightenment is an experience appearing in a dream. It's not an actual experiencer. That one that is looking for enlightenment is inside the film of life, is inside the illusion.
Whose dream is it?
It's life's it's beingness's dream. You can't imagine whose dream it is. Everything you imagine, everything isn't it. So what in your experience, what's happening now which isn't happening? What's so there's all these thoughts, there's sensation, there's feelings going on, and what else is there? Like, what else is having an experience? What's left having an experience that's not found in the dream? It's not something I can describe to you, but it's not a thought, it's not a feeling, it's not an idea that's having an experience, it's not a person that's having an experience. There is something greater that's looking out now, that's always been there.
I hope I understand it, and not only intellectually.
Yeah. It's that which is hearing my voice now.
But still, is this that it is sometimes maybe identifying with this mind and body, and sometimes it feels like it feels itself, maybe not feels, maybe sometimes it's more clear. I understand what you're saying about about mm, about you must say pure consciousness, which in which all experiences arises.
Sorry, I missed the question.
Maybe it is not a question.
What's going on in your body now? What's happening? What's your action?
Now?
Yeah.
It is sensation in the body, maybe shaking.
Yeah.
And I experience body from, I don't know from where. It is like but now in the room, and like all space from in this room, it is me. Or if I look in the window, it expands to outside, and it is also me.
So this is what's happening. Bum on seat, sensation in body, thoughts, feelings, ideas appearing, and then there is a person that feels like they're having an experience, but actually they're being experienced. That person that feels like it's choosing something, that it can move its attention, that it could look left or right, isn't actually experience anything. It is experienced. It's appearing inside the dream. It's not the looker, it's an experience appearing. And that which is looking isn't separate from any things. It cannot be named. And it's also this sense of existence that's everywhere, and that's the love side of it. This sense of being. And that sense of being and that empty looking has been there since you're 1, 2, 3, when you've had heartache, when you've fallen in love, when you've been excited, when you've been sad, when you've cried, when you've hated. It's always been this sense of existence and this empty looking, both together, and they're not divided anywhere. What's divided is that person that's being experienced, which looks at someone and says, I'm this, they're that, I'm good, you're bad, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm wrong, you're right. And that which you're looking for isn't found in something in time, isn't found in me, isn't found in non-duality, isn't found in anything that's moving in time, anything you understand, anything you want. What that person wants isn't it. It's right here the whole time. Right here. It's in the intimacy of what's happening. But there keeps being a confusion with the person, with the I am right, they are wrong, I want this, I don't want this. The person, the animal body, the instrument is designed to always move towards pleasure and avoid pain. Whatever it associates with pleasure, which will be unique to each body-mind mechanism. It's always doing that. Due to no longer looking, where you can just rest, but it never will. That game of chasing pleasure just encourages the addiction to getting more pleasures. And I'm not saying in any way stop seeking. If you try to stop seeking while you're already a seeker and while you have that seeking energy, you'll end up depressed. Well, that person's got that seeking energy. It has to look all over the world. It has to go off and meet women or men or get a good job or get lots of money if that's what it desires, if that's what it believes it is. Otherwise, it becomes depressed. I'm not in any way saying stop seeking. I'm just pointing out that what you're looking for isn't there, and maybe at one time that will begin to be seen so clearly that what you're looking for is always only ever been present, and it's total and utter love and emptiness at the same time. It's not attached to anything. The love is unconditioned. It's for no reason. It's not because you've given me something or because life's worked out. It's just there in all the failings and all the beauty and all the growth and all the destruction and all the war and all the peace. The love is there. See. Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
So we can say recognition might happen, that it is always here.
Yeah, it just becomes really apparent.
Can it be that recognition is happened, but again forget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's often what happens. Is it becomes, it's seen and then it's covered, and then it's seen and then it's covered. But it's not just an recognition, it's an energetic shift from, that recognition from being somebody that's inside the body, like a bound energy that's inside the body, but we can call it recognition if you like.
That was what I am asking, actually, because
But you're
this
unaware of yourself, because what you're doing is you're just trying to feed your addiction to getting pleasure. You think that you're chasing enlightenment, but every time you speak to me, you're just trying to feed your addiction. It's not the same with everyone that asks a question, but I can just tell you that. Just be honest with what's actually happening with your experience. Be honest now as to what you're feeling. See that seeking energy inside your body that's trying to get something for me. But normally we're so cut off we can't even feel it, and it just underlies us as a slight anxiety or excitement. You might feel excited to speak to me, but I'm no different or more special than a rock that is sitting on the floor, or the table that you're sitting at, or the wall. So just feel that in the body, that you're trying to seek intellectually to get a pleasure pill. I'm not saying don't listen to non-duality, but see, the formulations of questions are never going to get you to the end of the question. They're just trying to give you that injection of pleasure, that injection of safety and security. You've just got to experience being unsafe. You've got to experience being afraid. You've got to experience not knowing the answer. And that's okay, because it's not found in that world. It's there. When that person stops running so quickly around on the treadmill trying to get there, then it's seen. It's there. So what you can do when you're by yourself, or you can try to do it now, is just try to explore the actual sensations that are going on and get to know the person. Begin to see what it's doing, that it's always seeking to get its pleasure hit. And that's its natural movement. The body's always designed to move towards pleasure, and that shouldn't stop. You shouldn't just be walking into fires or putting your mouth in your head in a lion's mouth. I'm not saying do that. Like, the response should be to run away from a lion or move away from a lion. But what I'm trying to say, in time, you're never going to get it there. She's driven by her food at the moment. I can't keep the doors open because it's too cold here, but she's agitated to leave her bones outside. So she's in, she's out, she's in, she's out, because of the movement towards pleasure. That's always meant to happen. But Khaleesi is not deluded into thinking or ever having the dynamic of looking for wholeness in that pleasure. Pleasure is just pleasure. Wholeness is her nature. I can see it even in your eyes. You're longing towards me. It's not me. I'm no different than that shirt you wear, than the computer. I'm made of the same. It's all God. I just am the instrument that speaks it. You have to go through the discomfort.
Go through discomfort. Mm-hmm.
Like coming off drugs. You're so used to just chasing after pleasure. It's a drug. Your whole intellectual thinking is based on running away from your experience. And listening to non-duality is important. Like, I'm not saying don't listen to non-duality, don't go on retreats, don't explore this subject. I'm not implying that in any way. I would encourage that. But basically what it comes down to is that energy has to collapse back into itself. So you as a person has to begin to explore the actual sensation and the actual experience, rather than trying to get a high or trying to just avoid feeling. You got to feel the fear of being alive as a separate person, because you're afraid. You got to feel the fear of lack of money, of lack of love, of being abandoned, of being rejected. That's what keeps you running. And it's okay, it's empty, it's nothing. It's nothing to be afraid of. You're running from your own shadow. And it's not just you, it's everybody that's separate.
I'm not sure that I understand you correct. You say this seeking is like avoiding from actual experience. Yeah. It, it
You have
is
to
all.
sit and explore your experience. You need to
Sorry?
sit and explore your experience. Person's like, I don't have time for that. And I need to listen to non-duality. I'm not saying don't listen to non-duality. If it wasn't for non-duality, it wouldn't have got this far. But there has to be a point where there's an exploration of experience.
Yeah. It seems like experience in each moment, in this moment, it is like a door to I don't know how to say it, to maybe to the end of seeking, to
In a lie to try and get love and avoid fear. And that selling yourself short by living in that lie just makes you feel worse and worse about yourself. Do you understand what I mean by selling themselves short?
should.
Yeah, so short means you're selling yourself. You're like, you're trying to get love and approval here.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's like you're selling yourself short. I don't know how else to say it. Sorry, you're selling yourself for cheap. You don't need to do it. I'm not saying don't listen to non-duality, but this is what you'll be doing throughout your whole life, is giving yourself away for the idea of security and love, and it's never going to work. It will make you feel more insecure and more lackful, more without love. Everything you look for is your nature. You're never, ever, ever, ever going to find it in time. I can't convince you of that, but it has to be explored. Your home is sat there now. Your home is what looks at me. Your home is what hears the sounds. It's not me. It's not what Lisa says. It's not what any guru says. It's that which is experiencing this dream. And that experience is never separate from the dream. It's never absent. It's always present. But the person that plays out is constantly trying to sell itself in order to get home. But it's looking for home in the wrong place. It's that which listens now. And this is why so many speakers recommend meditation or just sitting. Not that I'm recommending or not recommending, but the reason they do is because the person is always trying to get away. There has to be an exploring of what's happening.
Now is so strange sensations, like my mind cannot understand.
Yeah,
Like
it's okay. Just listen to my energy then. You can also listen to it back with subtitles once it's recorded.
yeah.
Yeah, on YouTube. Where are you from?
From Moscow.
Oh, nice. Nice. Oh no, she stopped barking now. So, in, out, in, out. Nice. Oh, well, lovely speaking to you. And you can listen back and then maybe you can understand it better. But you are that which you look for. That which is looking is what's looked for. But thank you for calling.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.